Hi, this is Lonna Lisa Williams, aka Survival Woman, and today is Sunday, March 21, 2021. Kind of rings, has a good sound to it. And I'm sitting in my car in the church parking lot, the church where I go, which is my mask-free zone, because I think we ought to have the right to a mask-free zone. Yeah. My mask is here. Yeah, it's kind of dorky. It's cool. I got it at Sam's Club. I have other ones. I have a solid pink one and a solid black one, but I like this one better. It's made of material, can be washed. Anyway, I just think that our Governor Gavin Newsom should give us a choice whether to wear masks or not. And Dr. Fauci, or however you pronounce his name, who makes like $1 million a year, I'm not joking, he's like the highest paid civil servant or whatever government worker in America. He says wear 2 masks, or maybe wear 1 mask, or maybe they're not that effective. So we hear different things from WHO, the World Health Organization, and CDC, the Center for Disease Control. They say different things at different times. So how are we to trust science, believe science, when science is like medicine? It's a practice. You keep practicing until you kind of get it right. I mean, I went to my doctor yesterday and she gave me this new nose spray and it made me feel sick. So the practice of medicine would indicate that that kind of medicine is not good for me, because people are different, amazingly different. We have different fingerprints, different faces, and we react differently to different kinds of medicine. So medicine is like a practice. You keep working on it. Like if you were a figure skater, you'd have to practice for hours a day and do your routine to music and skate on the edge of the ice really fast and jump up and turn around and do things that, wow, look so beautiful and graceful, but are really hard to accomplish. I used to figure skate, so I know that. I still could do it. Anyway, so practice of medicine is try this, try that, see what works. And the whole mask thing for the COVID-19 and the coronavirus pandemic and all that, that's changed a bit. And over 97% of people who get COVID recover. Yeah, and I heard it was like a 1% death rate, kind of like any yearly flu or similar. I mean, it's not like people are dropping dead all around us. Who do you know who died of COVID? Just wondering. Let me know. How many people do you know who died of COVID? Now, I know people have died. Most of them are over 70 years old, and I think that's sad. It's like, wow, why pick on the older people, Hardly ever any children get it, or any younger people. And most of the people in the hospitals there who were admitted for COVID were overweight, obese even. So, hey, we should take care of our bodies if we can. Don't eat too much. Go outside, walk around. So how does all this fit in with me being in the church parking lot? Well, it's Sunday, and I'm not really good at waking up early in the morning, and I missed the service. I'll tell you the truth, I did. And I came anyway. I thought, well, maybe there'll be a few people hanging around. So I walked through the campus, and the trees look really beautiful. So I thought maybe I would give you a little tour of my church campus and show you the trees, because they're really beautiful this time of year with their blossoms, and there are bees flying around. And I love trees. And I wrote a book about trees called Like a Tree Planted. And that's from a psalm in the Bible. So I have this really old Bible sitting around in my car. It's falling apart, but it's cool. Because, you never know when you need a Bible. And I usually forget to take mine with me in the morning when I leave. And it has this psalm, Psalm 1. And I wanted to read you part of this psalm, only part. No. Okay, here we go. I'm going to read it. Blessed is the man or woman who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, but stands in the path, nor stands, I need my glasses. Hang on. We're going to start that over. Glasses. Oh, yeah. Do I look like a professor now? English professor, that's me. Master's degree in English. Community college teaching credential, lifetime in California, taught in Russia, Turkey, and China. So I have 1 or 2 things I could say with a little bit of educational background. And my grandfather graduated from Yale University, and he was a professor at UNC, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, where my mother graduated. She was a teacher too, kind of runs in the blood. So I do digress. Sorry. Let me start over with Psalm 1. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the path of sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he meditates day and night. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that brings forth its fruit in its season, whose leaf also shall not wither, and whatever he does shall prosper. I think that's lovely. We're like trees, kind of, to the Lord. Okay, that's Psalms in the Old Testament. And this one I don't think was written by David, the famous shepherd boy who fought Goliath and became king of Israel. He wrote a lot of Psalms, but his name isn't on this one. So that was a few hundred years before Jesus came. And then I'm going to Revelation, the last book in the Bible, which was written, a few hundred years after David and the Psalms and all that. It was written like 2,000 years ago. So, Revelation 22. I'm going to read you this part. At the very last chapter of the whole Bible, actually. And he, an angel, showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding from the throne of God and of the Lamb in the middle of the street. And on either side of the river was the tree of life, which bore 12 fruits, each tree yielding its fruit every month. The leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of God and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. They shall see his face, and his name shall be on their foreheads. There shall be no night there. They need no lamp nor light of the sun, for the Lord God gives them sight, and they shall reign forever and ever. I think that's so cool. The leaves of the tree are for the healing of the natures, and you don't even need light. That's cool. All right. So trees are really beautiful and very important to the Bible. And I'm going to show you my book, Like a Tree Planted, because of course I would love to have you buy it. And it's about a future, like, I don't know, a few hundred years or so in the future, after Earth had a really bad chemical war. Allergies. I love trees, but I'm allergic to them. Go figure. So my book, Like a Tree Planted, which looks backwards when you have it this way. I'll turn it around so you can actually read it. But I love the picture. I love the cover, even though the words are backwards. And that photo is from Turkey. And I took that photo when I was teaching English in Turkey. I stayed there 2.5 years near Istanbul and all around Turkey in the south, north, middle. And this was Kartepe, a mountain not far from Istanbul, actually, not too far from the Black Sea, yeah. And I took this photo on top of this Turkish mountain and these beautiful trees and the mist, and it looks like something's going to come through that mist. It's like a portal. And so my book, Like a Tree Planted, is about a teenage girl who's a scientist, the daughter of scientists, and the city she lives in is future San Diego, and it's under a dome. They can't go outside the dome. And there are no more trees on the whole planet, and whatever few cities are left because of chemical wars are under domes. So the only tree that's left is a eucalyptus tree, and the girl who's from the future, Miranda, her job is to take care of it, but it's dying, and she feels really badly that the tree's dying and she can't save it. So she figures out a way to go through a portal of time and space to meet with her great-great-grandmother who lived in our time in Oregon among the trees, and to figure out and observe her great-great-grandmother who couldn't really see her. She was like observing through a portal of time and space, but she wasn't totally in that area. She was like half there, kind of invisible, like an angel. And she had to figure out from clues of her great-great-grandmother's past and the portal of time that she found in this big library in the city under the dome. She had to figure out, where did my great-great-grandmother save the seeds for the future so I can bring them back to my future? and have trees again, because she knew there was like writing of her grandmother, great-great-grandmother's journals, something about, I am saving, taking these off, the seeds of trees, all kinds of trees, and I'm going to put them in a safe place, and you figure it out. It was like a map, a treasure hunt. And Miranda met her great-great-grandmother, Gabrielle, and saw her grandmother's life and figured out where to find the seeds in her own time and how to lead people outside the dome. Yeah, and she had a boyfriend, and all kinds of stuff happened. And how did her great-great-grandmother die, or did she die? Did she see her die? And all that. And her great-great-grandmother had this really cool romance with a logger, and her great-great-grandmother was an environmentalist, hug the trees, save the trees. I'm like that, actually. I love trees. I'm an environmentalist in a lot of ways. Hug a tree, save a tree. Hey, let's don't cut them all down. They produce oxygen. They're wonderful. So her great-great-grandmother fell in love with a guy whose job was cutting down trees, a logger in Oregon. Yeah, I've been to Oregon and Washington and seen all those forests they're cutting down and those big old logs on those big old trucks. And oh, wow, that's sad. It takes a long time for a tree to grow, to be big. Hundreds of years. There are even trees on our planet that are like 2,000 years old as when Jesus walked on the earth. So, yeah, think about it. Now I'm going to take you on a quick tour of my church grounds, showing you the trees with maybe a little narration. I'm going to get out of my car on this beautiful Sunday. I'm going to find my sunglasses because I need them because I have blue eyes. Here I am, Irish, American, and English. What a combination, Irish and English. I did my DNA. Yep, Irish and English with a little bit of a lot of stuff thrown in, maybe a little bit angel. So I say. So I like my husband who's in prison. He thinks I'm a little bit angel, and my daughter does. And I agree. I think maybe we're all a little bit angel, maybe 1% or something. Whoops, there, yeah. Let's drop the phone. Had to shut my windows of my car, so no one could break in. Got my keys. And I'm going to take down a little tour. And one other thing before I go. Governor Gavin Newsom, dude, we got 2 million signatures to recall you. And what was your reaction? Your reaction was, oh, well, it's those bad Republican people, and we will just mobilize the Democratic Party and fight against it. Dude, it's not just Republican people. It's just a lot of people who look at you and think, what did you think you were doing? Oh, there goes my car making its funny noise. It just randomly does that. We're thinking, what were you doing? Telling us all to wear masks and stay home and not have parties for Thanksgiving or Christmas with our own family when you go out to a fancy French restaurant in Northern California near one of the wineries you own because you're really rich. And you have a big party with all your friends and no one's wearing a mask and you're not outside where you're supposed to be. You say we can't even go to sit inside restaurants, and someone takes a photo of you in a restaurant with all your friends, not socially distancing, 6 feet apart, not wearing masks. So dude, we are not recalling you because of any Democrat, Republican thing. We're recalling you because you made rules and you broke them, and you are not above the law. You're going to figure that out, dude. So Governor Gavin Newsom, for over 2 years, I have written you letters. Oh, my car stopped. It's annoying sound. I have written you letters for over 2 years, Governor, and you have not once replied to me. And I've called and talked to your people who work at the Capitol on the phone. I've been hung up on. I sent you a Christmas card, a really nice one. I emailed you. I did submit forms from your website, and nothing. I even filled out official papers asking for my husband's sentence to be commuted because he's been in there too long in prison. Yeah, he had a long sentence. He's Mexican. You call him an illegal alien. I think he's not. He's lived in California most of his life. And one good thing Biden's doing, in my opinion, is giving these people the right to stay. Because how would you like to be on the other side of that wall at the border? So, Governor Gavin, I'm not some crazy Republican woman coming after you. No. I am a woman who writes about trees, who is at heart an environmentalist, who wants to save the trees and give our grandkids a better planet than what we have now. And if we save the trees and we protect our environment, we'll be doing a whole lot better. And that doesn't mean we have to kill the people to do it, really. So, dude, your reaction was to mobilize the Democratic Party and fight against it. It wasn't like, oh, could I maybe change some of my actions and help these people who elected me? I'm not a king. I'm not God. Maybe I could change some of my actions. Why didn't you think of that, dude? So change your actions, please. I know my video is getting kind of long and I'm ranting, but I need you to release my husband, Jose, who's Mexican and Spanish from Spain, and a little bit Angel. And he did a bad thing. He didn't kill anyone. He didn't rape anyone, but he was involved in cartel, in LA. And he assaulted someone. Okay. But he doesn't need a 14-year sentence, really. And he's been there like 12 years, 11 years. He's got like 3 more to go. And I waited 2 years for him. And I would really like him to be free. And I'll wait as long as it takes. But dude, Governor Gavin Newsom, meet with me in Sacramento. I'm going to come up there soon. As soon as I get my tax refund money, I am coming. I'm driving my little car to Sacramento. And I'm going to be outside the state Capitol building. And I'm going to do a video and say, Governor Newsom, where are you? Why didn't you answer me? Please release my husband, Jose, from prison. Because, I love trees, but I need a man. I need my man. So go think about that. You've got your first partner, a beautiful wife. You've got your kids. You've got all your rich friends. I can even buy a cup of coffee at the French Laundry restaurant in Napa, where all the beautiful wineries are, and you own like 2 or 3 wineries. You're really rich. Dude, help the people you're supposed to serve. And don't just make it a Democratic Republican thing and campaign against being recalled, but instead listen to the people, change your ways, and be like a tree bearing good fruit and taking care of us and giving us shade. Don't be like someone who just ignores us and breaks the rules he makes, because you are not above the law. And that's why I'm going to be in Sacramento soon, so get ready. Please, I'd like an appointment in your office. So back to Like a Tree Planted. I am going to get out of my car. I'm going to show you the actual cover of my book so that the words aren't backwards first. And I'm going to take you on a quick tour of my church, which is my mask-free zone. Hey, and Governor Gavin, what were you thinking when you said we couldn't have church? We couldn't go inside a church. What were you thinking when you said we couldn't sing? Oh my gosh, we can't sing, really? And the Supreme Court of the United States of America said those laws he made are invalid because they are against the United States constitutional rights of freedom of religion and freedom to peacefully gather, not to mention freedom of speech, freedom of the press. All those things kind of go together. So enough of my ranting, because, I am Irish. Irish like to rant. I have the hair of an Irish woman, the eyes, the skin. Mostly I am Irish. I have some English too, which, my whole family is always fighting because the English and the Irish are 2 little islands off the coast of Europe, but they hate each other. It's like they're neighbors, they're brothers, but they're enemies, and they were always fighting. So, my whole family's been that crazy with English and Irish people going, and who knows, that 1% is, and a few other European places, like a little bit. I'm also Dutch, great Holland genes. Yeah, that genes as in DNA from Holland. These Dutch ladies, they look so great, even when they're old. So I'm really happy to be a little bit Dutch from Holland. That is the Netherlands. And maybe a little bit Greek. Yeah, how did that fit in? I don't know. But it did. And some Northern European, like Latvia or somewhere near Russia. Yeah, I'm a little bit Russian. Now, I taught English there for 6 months. And I look Russian, but they knew I was American. They said, just go home. Okay. I do digress again, telling you my DNA. And we are going to look at the cover of my book, and I'm going to take you on a quick tour, and then I'm going to be done. And Governor Gavin, I'm going to be there in a week or so. So please meet with me and save my husband from prison so we can have a life together, and we can hug trees together, and we can kiss under a tree. Yeah, make love on the grass under a tree, and make the world a better place for our great-grandchildren. Hopefully we'll have some, some people left in the future, that is, before everything gets remade, like in Revelation. So here we go. I know I'm contradictory, aren't I? I'm like a Christian. I'm like environmentalist. I'm like, I don't know, a little bit conservative, a little bit liberal. Why not be a bunch of things? Okay, so I'm turning this camera around. We're going to look at my book. Please buy it. It's only $10 on Amazon, and use all 3 of my names, Lonna, Lisa Williams. Spelled like Donna with an L, you'll find me. And it's only $2.99 for a Kindle ebook. So please buy it. So first the cover of the book, then a little tour. And then we're done because I'm probably digressing too much. I'm turning the camera. This is my car, my steering wheel. Okay, can you see the book? Yeah. All right. So I don't even know if you can see. I can't hardly see it. All right. So that's my book, and the title's on the bottom and on the side, and my name's there on the side. And it's that beautiful photo I took on a mountain in Turkey, not far from Istanbul, Kartepe, not far from the Black Sea, where it looks like Europe, because Turkey is not a desert. It's not in the Middle East. It's not a desert. It's a little bit Asia, a little bit Europe, and that's a fact. All right, here we go. Opening my car door. I guess I only need my keys and my camera. Yep, grabbing a drink of coffee. Getting my tissue because my nose is always runny. Gonna lock my door. Oh, somebody's ran a motorcycle next to where I parked. All right, so this is Bakersfield, California, and it's a cool place. And there's my church sign, and it's a really nice church. River Lakes, love that because I love lakes and rivers, and it's got a tree on the sign and flowers. So this is a church that loves trees and the environment. Yeah. And has flowers, and it's beautifully designed. It's been here like 100 years. It's like the oldest church in Bakersfield, and the people are friendly. And over there you can see the flowers and one of the buildings. It has like a bunch of buildings, and that's cool. I mean, 100 years, that's pretty long for California. I'm just going to take you on a short tour. I should probably walk faster. So the church service is over. I got here too late, but I'm making this video, so we'll go with that. And the sun is out, and it's a little cold actually, believe it or not. California can be cold. This is Central California. Hardly anyone knows where Bakersfield is, but just sort of look in Central California, south of Fresno, you'll find it. I live in a little town outside of Bakersfield, so I'm like 20-minute drive from here. A little bitty town surrounded by beautiful almond trees, orchards. So in the background you can see housing, and the church parking lot's like really big. You can see the road, and there's like a stoplight at the church. That's so cool. And you can see the flowers. I love the flowers. I love the landscaping, the palm trees. Oh, and I really love the ferns. Check this out. I think I might just end my video here. That is a beautiful walkway. I saw things like this in Europe. I lived in England, in northern England, and I saw beautiful things like this there, like abbeys, old church buildings. I think that's a beautiful look. In California, we have things like this, and the flowers and the palm trees. But I love the little flowers because it's spring. But what I really love are the trees. Check it out. That's a beautiful tree. That would be like the tree in my like a tree planted book. Although it's a sycamore, I think. It's not a eucalyptus. And here are beautiful fern trees, which I lived in New Zealand and I saw fern trees. And this looks like the fern of New Zealand. It's so beautiful. And it reminds me of New Zealand. And so there's like a door to the church with the times. And there's another fern tree over there. Wow, it's so beautiful. And there's another palm next to it, and there's a sycamore tree. I do know some tree names because I am an environmentalist. I love trees. And there's some more flowers. And there's the palm tree with flowers. So I would like to end this video saying, Governor Newsom, don't make it about Democrat versus Republican. Make it about people who need your help and expect you to keep the rules that you make as an example. Because a good leader leads by example. And that's what I love about Jesus, is that he didn't just say, do this, do that. He healed people. He rose from the dead. He lived by example. He died for us, for our sins. Easter's coming up. And he healed people and he rose from the dead and he lived what he said. And so we should follow him and do that also. So, Lonna Lisa Williams with my cool sunglasses. I'm gonna pose over here by the tree. Yeah, okay. Because trees are like people. They're beautiful and you can get them in your photo with you. So this is Lonna Lisa Williams in a beautiful sycamore tree in California. thanks for listening to all that rambling, because I am blonde, kind of a reddish blonde. Was born that way. Yep. But I think I have a few things to say after having received my master's degree and community college teaching credential and teaching overseas in Russia, Turkey, and China for 5 years. Learned a thing or two. And I miss my husband, Jose. So, Jose, someday maybe you'll watch this. You can't do it in prison because they don't let you have internet and you don't have a computer. But maybe someday when you're out, we'll look at this together. Maybe someday you and I will meet Governor Newsom over a cup of coffee in Sacramento and be like friends. That would be a perfect world. So Governor Gavin, help make the world perfect for us and set my husband free. Thank you all for watching and have a great week. It's spring. Spring was officially yesterday. Yay, yay, yay. Bye.